In this video, we'll see how to create 3D models of design objects starting from a photo. I was asked to test Hitem 3D, so with pleasure let's see how this service performs with these 5 design objects. Let's start with the brush landscapes. It is a copper foil available in different versions. There are some 3D models available online, but I specifically want this one. So we upload the photo into Hitem 3D, and without applying any specific setting, we start generating the model. We are using the default setting with version 2. This AI engine is very accurate, which is why we'll need to wait a few minutes before getting the result. Finally, it is ready, so we export it as a FBX and import it into 3ds Max. To better adapt the object to the wall, we can use modifiers, such as bend, to shape the entire volume and make it perfect. Even though it already comes with an assigned material, in this case we ignore it and replace it with a Corona physical material. We set a brass foil as the base material, then apply some corrections to get closer to the original object appearance. We repeat the same process with this abstract decorative object. But before proceeding, let's focus on the quality of the final model we can obtain. Here we can choose whether we want a very highly detailed model, which is perfect for 3D printing, or by using previous versions of the Hitem 3D engine. We can opt for lighter models that are also faster to generate. And to be even faster, if we don't need textures, like in this case, we select only geometry, since we will create the material directly in Corona. Let's download it and add it to our scene. We add a basic Corona material and do not worry about the rough surface, since it has already been simulated during the reconstruction phase. It's true that this means having many polygons, but consider that we will perform this operation only for a few key objects. Now let's reconstruct this other design piece. This time, however, we select geometry plus texture, then import into 3ds Max. As we have seen, this object has painted body and a backlight moon. In this case, I manually select the vertices, detach the parts, and create 2 different materials. A Corona material and a Corona light material. In both cases, we will use the same textures generated by Hitem 3D. We assign the material to the corresponding surfaces and slightly increase the light material intensity value to see the final render result. Now let's move on to these 2 beautiful design objects by the artist Romero Britto, one of my favorite pop artists. I follow the same process. I even generate more than one object at the same time. And if something does not come out perfectly, I can always try again multiple times for free. Then I export in FBX and import into 3ds Max. You may have noticed that the objects are imported with a native 3D Max physical material, and Corona reads this material without any issue, but it's also true that Corona materials are much more powerful. So I convert everything into Corona material using the specific converter. Then I add a glossy varnished layer by increasing the clear coat value, achieving an outstanding render result in just a few minutes. Let's complete our collection of objects with this vase produced by Rosenthal. It looks like a normal vase at first glance, but its beauty is visible from the side. A model of this type is impossible for an AI system to reconstruct from a single photo, so I took 4 different photos and uploaded them into the multi-view section. In this case, we set only geometry, version 1.5 and balanced quality. After a few minutes, we'll obtain this result. As you can see, the final render with all the objects is completely photorealistic. If you would like to experiment with Hitem 3D as well, you can find the link in the description and in comments. Through this link, you can start a free trial or subscribe and receive a discount. Bye bye!